What's happening, everybody? This is Jose Trujillo, the world's greatest living artist. And man, we keep on recording, we keep on showing up. In spite of everything else, whatever everything else is. Uno más, baby. We keep on showing up, showing up. All right, let's go. Let's do this. We keep on moving regardless of what the day may look like. Sometimes the days don't look as generous as one hopes them to be. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't, baby. Painting boats sometimes can be a little, depending on the angle, they can be a little bit interesting. Painting little boats. Just like that. Boom. Super simple like that. We're going to put another one over here. And let's input one right here. And we don't quite understand what the hell it's doing here, but it's doing something. Let's open it. Uno más. Look at that. Boom.
Danielito. Daniel. Are you hungry?
Just like that. Making that shadow super long, longer than all the bolts. We're gonna have a lazy person over here just kind of looking. I'm like, what's going on, you guys? Maybe their hand on their hip or pocket. There's always that one person, you know, that's just watching everybody else work. Super simple. A little Monet-esque. I remember watching Monet's figure paintings, and I was like, dude, this dude is like, he doesn't care. He does what he wants. Okay, we'll come back to that. The thing to do is to get some of this purple and start using it before it dries on me, because I haven't used that purple that much today or yesterday. So I need to use it up. Check it out. So when I was a young buck, I used to play the guitar. Well, I'm still a young buck, but I was younger. And I try to get into whatever music action I could get into. And I learned early on that all you got to do to participate is just show up. You know, I've been saying this for a while, by the way. Sometimes you don't feel like showing up, and it's okay. Yeah. I think it's trying to get it to shore. And so I started understanding that early on. You just gotta show up, man. Just show up. I was able to have a lot of fun playing with bands and different musicians simply by showing up. It's like, that's always been something that I respect a lot. I'm not always, I don't always show up perfectly. As a matter of fact, most of the time I'm like, or a lot of the times, I don't know if most of the time, but a lot of the times I'm just complaining, you know? I'm like, ah, shit, man, this is wrong and that's wrong and whatnot. But I still show up. You know, I'm still there. And so that kind of reminds me of when I was a musician. It was the same deal. I was always complaining about the sound not being right, musicians being late, and you know, sound engineer didn't show up, or whatever it was. But it was still there. And so I've used that as a pointer in my life. If I want to have fun, if I want things to work for me, even when things don't seem like they're working all that well, just show up. All you gotta do is show up. Showing up fixes everything. It's when you start skipping days, when you start going, well, I'm not gonna show up today. You know. And of course, you know, the ultimate thing is to show up perfectly, right? With all the energy and all the stars rigging in your favor. But that's not true. That doesn't happen. I've learned to understand that it's almost very rare when everything is rigged in my favor. It feels that way, anyways. Life is a little difficult. Shit's difficult, you know, and but if you show up, somehow it makes sense. It kind of evens out. So that's my takeaway on life, I guess. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. Life just is. And sometimes it feels really good, and sometimes it feels not so good. But fuck it, you know? Still, you gotta show up. I don't know if I got this from my mother, because my mother was a master at that. She would just show up to stuff. I remember she used to participate in church events and whatnot, and she was always there. She was the first one there and the last one to leave. And I've noticed that it was very important for her to show up. I used to get upset when I was a kid, right? I used to fight it. I used to be like, but man, it used to piss me off, right? I was like, Mom, do we have to show up? Do we have to be the first ones there? Do we have to be the last ones to leave? And she always reminded me, it's just really important to be there. You have to be there. If you're not there, like, there's no opportunity for you. That's right. That's right. You miss the shots you never take. You have to be hitting. Yeah, absolutely. You have to. I think the most important part of playing the game, I don't think it's winning. There's a lot of people there that are like, oh, you gotta win, you gotta win. Yeah, I know that's the goal. But I think the most important part of playing the game is to actually get to play it, to show up so you can play it. You know, just show up and somehow it all fixes by itself. There's a certain magic that comes with it. And then everything starts sort of working on your favor, or to your favor. I hope that makes sense of some of the nonsense I've been talking about today. Sometimes they say some pretty cool stuff. I surprise myself. I'm like, whoa, that came out of my mouth. Wow. And you don't win them all, okay? You don't win them all. This is something that I've learned. You don't win them all, but you gotta bat them all. Every time that I'm doing a painting or I'm selling a painting or anything, an event or anything, I go in it with knowing that. I go in it knowing, dude, you're not gonna win them all, okay? When I do a video, dude, only a few people are gonna show up. If 3 people showed up, you know, most artists would feel devastated. Oh my God, nobody's showing up to my lives. Dude, 3 people's 3 people. You know, 8 people, 7 people, whatever. I'll show up. I just show up. It's sort of like my superpower. Like, I show up even when shit looks like horrible. I'm still like, hey, what's up? What are we gonna do today? It's like a little superpower I got working for my. It kind of works for me now. It's a little freaky when you're showing up and you don't see results. You know, it's a little freaky. It's like oh shit. It doesn't feel that good. Especially when you have high expectations on something. You show up and you're like, whoa, dude, this did not work the way I thought it was going to work. But somehow things fix. They get fixed on their own, on the way. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jay. Very cool. I'm glad I could help. But yeah, it's a little freaky, you know. You're showing up, you're working, and things don't go your way, or it feels that way. It's not true. Remember what Rumi said: behave as if the world is rigged in your favor. I think something like that. I think he said something like that. Meister Rumi. I think he was a awakened philosopher. Because things don't look that way, you know. But if you behave as if they are that way, they kind of start looking that way for you. That's why he said behave as if the world is rigged in your favor, because he knew that it doesn't feel that way unless you start believing that way. And if you start believing, it's because you start looking at the world and behaving accordingly. Not just imagining or not just believing like, oh yeah, I believe. No, you start behaving accordingly. You're like, oh man, maybe the world is rigged in my favor. I don't know. All I know is that if I show up, things seem to be rigged in my favor. The more I show up, the more it seems like almost like God, like if God was on my side, you know. And again, it doesn't always feel like, oh my God, this is super cool. No, there's a lot of days where it feels like, what the hell am I doing, dude? And then you just keep showing up, and then it unfolds, and you're like, oh, okay, I was doing this. You're like, I get it now. I get what I was doing. I couldn't understand it. Super simple, guys. I like simplicity when I paint. And also because it unfolds, right? The painting starts unfolding itself. In the beginning, I have no idea where it's going. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna paint some boats. Maybe there's a person pulling it. Okay, cool. But it starts unfolding on me because I keep showing up to it, right? I'm like, okay, let's keep painting this thing. It starts unfolding. I did lots of oil pastels today. I was so excited to learn how to use them. Very cool. You failed a lot. You know, if you're not failing a lot, you're not working enough. So it's a good thing that you're failing a lot. Failure is only a sign that you're moving forward. So failure should be celebrated. When I was learning how to play the guitar, I failed a lot. Blisters, everything hurt. I couldn't get the notes right. I couldn't learn the songs. Failure after failure. And people say, well, that's not failure, that's learning. Yeah, but it feels like failure when you're doing it. It doesn't feel like learning. It feels like you're just falling on your face. And then all of a sudden I start getting it. I started getting it, just like with paint. This happened to me not long ago, by the way. I didn't start feeling like I started getting painting until recently. I know some of you might think like, oh no, dude, you've been painting for a long time. Yeah, but when I actually started feeling like I had a grasp on painting, it didn't happen until recently. My entire art career, probably about a solid 8 years of it, felt like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It wasn't until the past 2 years that I was like, oh, I think I'm getting a hang out of this oil painting business. See, because you start developing things that start working for you. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Muchas gracias. Lo agradezco. That's right, you fail forward. Always failing forward. You have to. There's no other way of doing it. If you know, if someone tells you that there's another way, listen to them if it's working. But most people won't say that. You know. Notice how I said listen to them if it's working for them. It's important to learn from people that's actually working for them. Even if they're saying the complete opposite. The problem that we face a lot as artists is that we try to learn from people that it's not working for them. Or a lot of people try to give advice. Maybe we don't try to learn, but subconsciously we listen to people giving advice who have no experience with it. And so but they have a good sense of self. They have a good head on their shoulders. Maybe they're your parents. Maybe they're your friends, your spouses. But if they've never done it, they won't know about it. There's no way. And they mean well. You know, it's not like they're trying to hurt you. Maybe some are. I don't know. But it's not like they're trying to hurt you. They mean well. But as a rule of thumb, I say, listen, you know, start paying attention to people that are doing it or have done it themselves. You know, if you want to learn about art style, don't go try to find out someone who has I don't know, YouTube followers or something. I always say this, like, go learn from a YouTuber how to make YouTube videos, not art style. You know, so that's kind of where I come from. Oh, caray, disculpe. Luego hago unos en español. Tengo tiempo queriendo hacer unos en español en nuestro idioma. Entonces de repente voy a hacer algunos ahí para la gente que habla español. Yeah, some people have been asking me about videos in Spanish, and so I think I need to do a couple here and there in español. But that's the beauty of being bilingual, huh? You get to talk to different people. Look at this. There it is. There's the painting. Let me know what you guys think. I am going to post this painting on eBay tonight. It's gonna go up on eBay, and I'm gonna start the auction at 99 cents. For those of you who want to be part of this jam. I like to make this little animated figures. I was looking at Giovanni Tiepolo's work, the French, I'm not French, I keep saying French, the Italian artist, and Francisco Goya from Spain. And when I was studying their work and paying attention to how they painted, their work was not very realist or highly representational, as many people seem to think today that it's like the only way to paint. The work was very abstract, almost animated, kind of like those type of figures, and so I really enjoy that. Ah, claro que sí, cómo no. Yo le aviso en cuanto haga, antes de hacer uno en español, yo le voy a avisar para que estén listos y tengamos una sesión chida en español. Muchas gracias. Claro que sí, cómo no, Poncho, también. Unos en vuestro idioma. Okay. So, Check it out. Super, super simple, guys. There's something about red and blue that I really like. It just makes sense in my little heart. Not even my mind. It does not make sense in my mind. It makes sense in my little heart. My little Mexican heart. Yeah. Do you have an oil tutorials on YouTube? I got something better than that. I got workshops that I am releasing to artists who want to learn how to do. I have oil tutorials on YouTube, but they're not complete. They're not complete. The best ones that I have are the ones that I'm releasing on a monthly membership. I'm releasing a $20 a month membership where you can learn everything that I know. I'm gonna be putting it in videos, and so that's set up already. We're releasing videos as we're going. But if you want to see more tutorials, yeah, you can go to YouTube and you can see all kinds. I have thousands of them, or hundreds maybe. I don't know. I keep saying thousands because I may have hit 2,000 videos right now. They're really cool, but most of them don't show the palette, and I'm not walking you through it. It's kind of like what I'm doing right now. Most of them are like that. And so, full video tutorials are only being available right now through my membership program. So there it is. The workshops, totally, yeah. The workshops it's $20 a month. Each workshop you can buy it individually. They range from anywhere from 50 to 100 or 300 bucks. But I'm putting them in a single I'm putting them in a single platform at $20 a month. But yeah, if you're just getting started and you feel a little lost and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't want to spend any money or anything like that, completely get you. Go check out on YouTube. I have a bunch of them. And you can start seeing how I create this work. That is super magnifique. Super magnifique. Look at this. Man. Yeah, the whole thing, I think the most important part of it is to get a little bit of drawing in there, which is and another thing that I'm going to be sharing is drawing tutorials, not just on composition or not just on sketching, but actual drawing tutorials the way I do it, because as long as you get a little bit of the drawing in there, you're good to go. You don't need to be a master draftsman or anything like that. As you can see, I'm not, okay. I am to, oh my god, I am to what works for me. But not. There's my kid again. It's like we compete for noise. I am to the kind of work that I do, but not. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, but if you get some little drawing in there, and you start learning how to draw, the painting is going to become 1,000 times easier. Okay. The drawing is really the hardest part in my experience. I think it was Jacques Louis David, I think, or it was Ingres. I don't know. One of the two French neoclassicists. I think they were neoclassicist painters. Is that what they're called? Neoclassicism? I think so. It almost sounds it sounds very Burgoyes. I don't know. Burgoyes. uh, but I think it was one of the two guys that said if you can draw, you can paint. Basically, who else said that? It's also said that a lot of artists, right? Picasso said that. A lot of artists, but some of the old ones, very old ones, have stated that early on. Who else said that I really admire? Oh, Caravaggio, the Italian Baroque painter, Michelangelo di Caravaggio. He said, what did he say? Yeah, he said if you can draw, if you can draw, you're good to go. Drawing is the hard part. It's not painting. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh my God, Van Gogh couldn't paint. Van Gogh couldn't paint." One of the reasons Van Gogh is so damn good, you got to check out his drawings. There's a lot of people that don't pay attention to his drawings. Van Gogh was a master draftsman, and so his paintings were going to be amazing if he was good at drawing. It was just a matter of time, and he achieved that. He achieved that pretty quick, actually. Van Gogh was an amazing painter, but a lot of people don't give him credit because of the style in which he painted. But if you see his drawings were, his drawings were some of the best-ish in the 19th and 20th century. Drawing is extremely important to painting. And some people get stuck on drawing. A lot of artists who paint realism get stuck on whatever you get stuck on. It's fine as long as you get stuck on for the good reason, for your reasons, you know. As long as you get stuck on there for something that works for you. Something like that, no? Little fox. Foxylated. Dude, I feel like I keep singing to you guys. There's a time in my day where I'm like, dude, I gotta sing or something, because what do they call it? That 2:30 feeling? Except I get it like at 7 p.m. But yeah, my friends. Something like that. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know also, because from time to time I pay attention to this phone. Oh, thank you. I love that. How's quarantine? It's going. It's going. It's hope 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 you're staying safe and everyone else out there. Uh, yeah, we're just kicking it here. Thank God that I don't have to go to work anywhere else other than my studio, and and my wife works with me, and my son kicks it with us also here. There's no school right now, so I mean the school is online, so I'm pretty excited about that. I try to look for the positive, when I can. Not always. Sometimes I'm very negative and I have to snap out of it. But for the most part, I try to look for the positive. What's the positive out of this? There's always a positive. There's always some sort of lesson, some sort of growth. There's always something waiting on the other side. Thank you so much. You as well. There is always something um, something good out of every difficult time. It's just life is seasonal. It's just like everything else. Life is seasonal. You're young, you mature, you get old, and then maybe if you're very lucky and you get old enough, you probably become young again. I see a lot of older people that sometimes it feels like you're dealing with teenagers. So if you're lucky enough, you get to be young again. I think it's just seasonal. If you get to that age, lighthearted to that age, because there's some people that have a hard time being lighthearted at that age. I speak as if I knew, huh? No, I don't know shit. I like to pay attention. I like to observe. I have no idea what that age is like. But I like to pay attention. I like to look at people as they're, I'm an artist. I like to pay attention to things, like that. Not everything, but to things like that. Things like that always catch my attention. Just how the same way a reflection or colors catch my attention as a painter. That kind of stuff catches my attention. What the cycles that we go through in life. It's not always the same. It's cyclical. I think part of the challenge is to learn how to live in the cycle as it's happening. Because most of the time I would say the vast majority of the time we don't like the cycle we're in until it's gone. Then when it's gone, it's like, oh, remember those good old days? Like, shut up, you hated those good old days. You couldn't wait for them to be over. I think that's part of being human, no? Like the whatever is presented to us, we kind of fight it. We're like, nope, not that. Something else. So this is supposed to be a fox. I think it's a fox. We're gonna go with it. Okay, you just roll with me, guys. We're gonna call it a fox. Something like that. All right. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna get my trusted palette knife. The whole thing that I do when I paint is just contact. It's just kind of it's a little mixture of things, but most important thing, I'm making contact with the canvas, and a lot of stuff is very random but purposeful. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does. It makes sense in my mind. It's random brush strokes, but they're done. They're done very with all my attention there. They're purposeful. They're not they're not just because. The place where I put them, the color that I choose is very much just because. But when I'm doing this application, this is not just because. This is very, very important that I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. That I have my full attention on it. That's where the art comes from. The art doesn't come from the brush stroke or the colors or the subject matter. No, it helps, but it doesn't come from there. The art comes from the full attention of the brush stroke. You could tell someone that I share that with you. It comes from the full attention. Your fullest attention has to be on the brush stroke, nothing else. And then that's where the art is born. Nothing is wasted. I'm not waiting for the next moment. I'm right here. Taking this moment because this moment gives me the second one. And so it's futile to try to look for a next moment as I'm painting because this is giving me the next one. I can't find the next moment unless I'm fully in this one first. The next one does not exist. That's where the art comes out of. The art comes out of the not knowing. It doesn't come of the knowing. It comes out of the art. Really, for me, what I've learned is that it comes out of a very dark, deep hole, out of vast nothingness. It doesn't come out of knowing. The less you know about it, the more art you're able to express. That's why it's so important that all of your attention is on your brushstroke, because it gives it to you. Your brushstroke holds the keys of your artwork, of your creativity, because it's done in present moment attention, present moment awareness, full attention. Everything else fixes itself. If the brushstroke, if all your attention is in the brushstroke, everything else fixes itself. I love it just like that, but if I try to sell it like that, someone's gonna tell me, dude, you forgot to paint all around it. I hear you though, because a lot of my work, I like it unfinished. Lots and lots of my work I prefer unfinished, but unfinished work is mainly for galleries. I can't auction unfinished work. Most people wouldn't know what I'm doing, and they would claim that I'm just being lazy or not finishing the painting. It's happened to me before. I try to be super artistic when I started doing auctions. And people were like, dude, what the hell? You got to finish this painting. But when the canvas is revealed, a good 30%. If the canvas is revealed a good 30%, it's like my favorite type of work, because there's a yin yang happening. Very strong yin yang happening when you don't. It's stronger than when you do an underpainting and then that looks white and then you paint. No, it's stronger than that. When the work is unfinished, I think that's why Monet tried so much in his later years to leave works unfinished, especially his water lilies. I think he began to understand the power of unfinished work. As a matter of fact, he was ridiculized and criticized for having unfinished work by some of his contemporaries and by some of the art critics. They say that Monet didn't finish his work, that he left a lot of white space. But what they didn't know is that the cat was doing something that people didn't understand in that time. He was ahead of his time. But yeah, I can't do that with most people, because unless I'm selling it in a gallery, which I do, and I do love creating unfinished works for my gallery exhibits, which I don't have right now due to their rawness. But I know exactly what you mean. Unfinished paintings like drive me so much. I love them. As a matter of fact, when I show paintings, most people say that they prefer the unfinished work. But when I try to sell it, it doesn't work that way. The paying customer doesn't like it. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I love, yeah, Zen Fox, right? I love that. Thank you, everybody. So this is how I finished this one, this little fox. Hopefully you guys enjoy this little segment. Mucho loco, mucho macho, and a little zen in there. Man, I love this stuff. I could talk forever about the relationship between Taoism, Tao, or Zen, and art. I think there's I think they go hand in hand, or wherever spirituality. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's deep, right? Like in Christianity, if it's mystic Christianity, anyways, all that stuff. I think it goes hand in hand with art. So anyways, guys, and stuff, take care. I'll talk to you guys later. If you guys have any questions, you can always DM me. If you want to learn the way that I paint, I am teaching that now, and I will be uploading more and more videos on that. I have a monthly subscription for that. It's $20 a month for those of you who want to join. Those of you who joined already, thank you so much. Take care. And there will be new stuff coming up for you guys. I really appreciate your support. Muchas gracias. Peace. Adios.